All right, well, I'm going to assume if you got one of these old Ford tractors, you can at least get to this point with your carburetor rebuild. So obviously it's removed from the tractor, disassembled, gasket surfaces pretty much cleaned up. This is kind of a detail here that some people might struggle with, but you see this little bent tab in here? See, one end's kind of turned down, one end's kind of turned up. You got to straighten that out and knock it out of the choke blade so you can get the choke blade out of the rod. Rod comes out the side of the carburetor, and then you can replace this little seal right here. If you don't replace that seal, you can see that shaft moves up and down, and that will cause you issues with choke and idle, and that needs to be replaced. You'll also have the same type of seal on your actual throttle shaft. You can even hear that one. So yeah, pretty sloppy. I mean, this tractor's 1962, so take the time, replace them. One other tip I would give you is to soak this thing down in some type of penetrating oil, probably not WD-40, something like PB Blast or Croil, something of the sort before you start. It'll make life a lot easier. This is your main power valve, or whatever you want to call it, assembly. Basically, when you throttle the tractor, it goes under load. It's pulling fuel through that jet. Oh yeah. I'm going to show you something here real quick. That's why you always want to take this out. A lot of guys will skip this step because they're afraid of tearing it up or damaging something, and you really got to do it. I'm about to show you why. I bet you this one's pretty dirty because she's old. The tractor ran fine, had no issues. It would idle, you know, all the way down to about 400 if you wanted to go down that low, but oh yeah. So let's see if you can get kind of a focus on that, but it's supposed to have through holes. You can kind of see daylight through them, but she's a little furry. Got some junk on there. If you look down it, looks fine. See right through it. No problem. Daylight. Yep, looks good. Then you get it out and you see how much crap is actually accumulated on it. Okay, so that's gonna get cleaned up. Brass brush, not a steel brush. Everything on these carburetors, you know, orifice wise, just take it easy. Use a brass brush. If you have a jet that's plugged, strip off some like THHN copper wire and pull a couple of the wires out, and you can run it through the jet and usually break up any crud you got left over. But yeah, don't go crazy with drill bits and steel and wire brushes, and you're gonna wreck these things, do more harm than good. So yeah, I'll take that, clean it up, clean this up, and I'll be back when I pull that shaft out, show you how that goes.